Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Jenny _ my truth is, and today we are talking about addiction. Spending addiction, and it is something that I had and that I recovered from probably 10 years ago. My addiction started when I was in college and I was receiving refund checks and I was just balling without a budget. It was so bad when I would go out with my friends, I would pay for everyone's meal just because I had it. Granted, probably for the semester, I would get a refund check for, I don't know, a couple $1000s. And as you may know, that's not a lot of money, but that was gone in a blink of an eye. My addiction was so bad that I refused to wear the same outfits when I would go out. So if I was going to like the club or a ceremony or a function, I always had to get a new outfit. I always had to go and get a new outfit. I cannot count how many times I would go to the mall and just spend hours looking for an outfit just for that one night. And would I wear it again? Rarely, but not much. It was a terrible addiction. It was so bad that there was a time where I refused to wash clothes. And once my hamper was dirty and I didn't have any clothes left, I would just go to the mall and just buy clothes just until I felt like washing clothes. And I had so much clothes. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous the amount of clothing that I owned and shoes. I look back and I'm just grateful that I made it through and I'm no longer that way. I am working on my minimalist lifestyle, which has saved me thousands of dollars. So for this video, we're just going to talk about the spending addiction, because for us to save money, especially when we want to go into real estate, having financials and money in your account is the most important part, because it's always going to be a rainy day. And as long as you have sufficient funds in your account, you will make it through. So I have just 4 things that I think that would help everyone fight their addiction on spending money. And most of them are known, but before you fix your addiction, you must acknowledge that you have one. And I acknowledged that I had one shortly after I graduated and I wasn't receiving those nice refund checks and I was working and the money wasn't coming in as quick as it used to do. So what I would do to fight my addiction when I made myself aware that this was a problem and it was not serving me was that I would just go shop. I would go shop. I would buy whatever I wanted. And I lived in DC, so I'd have to catch the train, the bus, walk, everywhere. And then I would have all these bags and I would bring it to my home. And I wouldn't touch it. I would give myself a week to see if I really needed anything in those bags. And after a week, my instant gratification, my high that I got for buying these clothes, although they were beautiful and I needed it, I did not need them. The high went away in about a week. So after a week, I would look in the bags and I would touch them. And if I didn't get that joy of I really needed this and could survive without it, I would have to take that long bus ride back, that long train ride back, that long walk back to the store. And it happened continuously that I got tired of going back to the damn store. I got tired of going back to the damn store, and it decreased my time shopping because I was tired of going back and returning the items. Now, I wouldn't wear the items and return them. I wasn't trifling like that. I would just keep them in the bag, and right before it was the time allotted that you could return the items, I would do it just in time. And I just learned my lesson that way, and it just really helped me fight my addiction. So I really want to say that I'm really good at spending now, and that is what is actually helping me save money, lots of money. But as I see my counterparts and what I try to express to people, are just these four major things that I think would help you save so much money for your nest egg, especially for a raining day, and especially when you want to get into real estate, because I am telling you, there is always a cost. There is always a cost. There's always a bill to be paid. There's always shit breaking at every property. Always, every week there's something breaking, but I don't let it stress me out because I have the funds, because I save and look at my spending pretty much weekly or every 3 days just to make sure that I'm on track. So the first thing, besides recognizing that you have an addiction and having a come to Jesus moment that you are going to change the way that you spend, then you can move forward. The first thing that'll help everybody is stop eating out. And I know everyone is tired of that. Oh, I'll go to McDonald's, get the 2 for $3. Oh, I'll go, I don't know, go to Cheesecake Factory and it's enough food for 2 days, but you're spending $30 on a pasta meal that you could have made for $3. Just spending money every day, going out to eat for lunch, or even grabbing coffee in the morning, or lunch, going to Subway. All of those are costs that can be decreased by properly planning. For instance, when it comes to coffee, if you know, coffee is the most expensive thing that you can buy. You go to Starbucks and you can get a caramel frappuccino. I think it's damn near $7 now. And that is insane for some sugar water and what they put on the top, whipped cream and a little caramel drizzle that you're paying $7 for. That is ridiculous. But people do it, and that's fine. That ain't got nothing to do with me. But one of the ways that you can cut costs is just by properly planning your meals and not eating out. Because when you eat out, you can eat 3 times a day, and let's say each meal is $30. Each meal, let's say, is $10 for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's on the low scale. That's $30 a day. Like, that's not a lot on a scheme of things. But if you're doing that 5 days a week, and that's $150 a week, that adds up. Because all you have to do was just cut up some chicken and some vegetables or rice, and that would have lasted you all week. And for breakfast, for an example, going to Tropical Smoothie or a smoothie spot. I love smoothies in the morning. And one thing I did was buy a little blender. My blender was a little portable one. It was probably like $7 or something. And I just bring my frozen fruit from home and just bring it to work and leave it in the freezer. And every morning, all I do is just make a smoothie. I make a smoothie for breakfast at work, and I make a smoothie at lunch for work, and it just gets me through. And I couldn't tell you how much I'm saving on just doing that. I know at my job, we commonly have tropical smoothie people that order it in all the time, and I've been expressing it to them. Hey, just buy a blender. Shit, you could use my blender. Just wash it afterwards and just make yourself a smoothie. Like, if you really want the smoothie, here, use my fruit. But they still want to go to Tropical Smoothie and pay for that $8 smoothie that they could have made for less than $1. But just stop eating out. it's really not worth it, because you're still going to be hungry 3 hours later. But if you're really serious about saving money, then you have to do drastic changes. Like, there's sometimes for dinner, I could afford a lobster and steak anytime, but I'll just settle for a simple grilled cheese sandwich because I just need to eat something. It doesn't always have to be fabulous, but it's just, shoot, just eat something minimal. That'll just give you nourishment. So that's the first thing of eating out. That'll save you hundreds of dollars a month, I promise you. Now, the second thing that I believe that a lot of people do that I've learned not to do is buy a new car. Buying a new car is the most overrated purchase I think that there is. I can't think of anything else. Because as soon as you buy this new car, I don't care how much it costs. It could be on sale. It could be half off. Well, it's never half off. It can be on sale. It could be, I don't know, 25% off. But as soon as you drive it off the lot, the depreciation of that car is ridiculous. It actually should be criminal. You just driving that car off the lot, taking it around the block, it depreciates because it's no longer brand new. Because for my car, I bought my car 2 years after it first came out. I bought 2013 and 2015, and honestly, I thought the price was too high anyway. I want to say I paid $30,000 for it, but it was my first time buying a car, so I really didn't know anything. What was on my side was that my interest rate was about 1%, maybe 1.5, something very minimal, which was pretty great because I have great credit score. But buying a $30,000 car, now that I look back on it, that wasn't even needed. Now, for my car, currently it's 2023, and my car has been through things. I have my husband and everyone telling me, Jenny, just get a new car, blah, blah, blah. But I haven't had a car payment since 2017, and life has been lovely without that $400 payment a month. I don't miss that because, let's see, I wrote it down that I was paying maybe like $400 a month. So 12 months, that was, let's see, 5,400. Let me see. My math on here is wrong. But long story short, it's been 5 years without a car note, and I've saved $24,000 in 5 years because I have not had a car note. I've been lucky. I haven't really had to pay for any major expenses on my car. There are some things with my car, like my bumper. My bumper is like real ghetto. That shit just falls off. But I'm not going to get a new car because of that. I just put that shit back on. I don't care. But it's not a reason to get a new car. I could afford a new car, but I'm not. I'm going to drive my car till, I don't know, it stops running, really. I don't care. As long as the AC is working and it can get me from A to B, it's going to keep going until its last breath. And saving the money is what's important. I don't care that people are like, oh, she's driving a 2013 Chevy Equinox. And I don't care. I just know I ain't got no payments and my AC works. That's all I care about. So, number 3, another thing that I see that is remarkable to me that people do, especially being a property manager and just having tenants that are on a yearly lease, is living lavishly for a temporary spot. It's living lavish in temporary spaces. And I could relate to this in college. You know, when you go in as a freshman, you buy all this shit that you really don't need, but you just buy it. But you're only in that dorm for a year, and no one talks about how after that year is up and summertime's here and it's hot as hell, that you got to move out. And God forbid you on the 3rd floor with no elevator. You got to bring all that stuff back to the car. So it would have been smarter in college if I just had the minimal stuff, even though I was very excited. But the amount of stuff that I bought and needed, well, I didn't even need them, but decorating my room, it was very all unnecessary for a temporary space. For a temporary space, it just didn't make any sense. And I know a lot of times for my tenants, which I am always shocked to see, is that they always go all out. I primarily rent to college students because I live in a college area, and everyone goes out. They're buying brand new furniture. Shein orders back to back at the door. Amazon orders back to back at the door, decorating their room, their house. And I'm just like, you're only here for a year. I understand you want to live in a lovely spot, but if it's temporary, there's no need to go spend money on a lavish lifestyle that is temporarily. Because one thing that I always see is when my tenants move out, they don't take none of it with them. None of it with them, because a lot of them live out of state. So they're not going to haul that nice furniture set or that nice couch back to wherever they're from. So a lot of it ends up on the side of the road waiting to be picked up by the city. So just if you're in an apartment and you don't plan on being there more than a year or two, just live very minimalistically, because at any moment when you gotta go and move on to the next chapter of your life, you don't want your things holding you down. So that's what I've learned. And I don't want to make this video too long, but the 4th thing that I learned, I don't know what was the exact year that I've learned this, but it was definitely after college, when I was just buying new clothes just to show off and I don't know, be very pretentious, I guess that's the name, is that I needed to stop spending money to show off, and stop spending money to show off in front of people I didn't even care about. Because my true friends know me. They know me inside and out like a book. So they wouldn't care if I wore the same thing over and over. But I thought I had to impress the masses, which is, I don't know, looking back at my 20s, I was just so young and dumb, and that's in a good sense, because I'm just happy I don't live there anymore. But for people who are progressing in life, especially if you're over 27 or 30, I think this is a time where you really have to buckle down with your finances, because just having good credit, being financially inept, that I love saying that, because it always helps you in the long run. Because no matter what situation you're in, if you have the funds, it can help you get out of the situation. Whether you go to jail, you can pay for a lawyer. You don't have to get the state-appointed lawyer that is tired and just wants you to plead guilty because they're tired. It can help you if you're in a bad relationship and you need to get out. You can get on with your life much quicker if you're financially stable, because when you're not financially stable, It causes us to stay in toxic environments that you don't need to be in because you can't get out, because you don't have the money to do so. So I say this, I'll end my video just saying this. If you have a spending addiction, work on it. Just work on it. Even if you do one change of, I don't know, let's say you eat 3 times a day and you cut it back to 2. At least it's something. Your awareness should be what shows you what you can do when you save. So just do your best out there. It's not going to happen in a blink of an eye. It's going to take work, especially when I was buying stuff just to buy it and had to keep it in my closet and then return it a week or 2 later. It didn't happen overnight. I don't know how long it took, but it took a while to when I just said enough is enough. So that's all I have to share in this video. To be into real estate, you have to have your money in order, because something is always going to happen, and you do not want to run up credit cards or take out loans or none of that, because for my properties, all 8 of them, all my issues I pay in cash. I don't put anything on credit card unless, well, I'll take that back. I do put it on credit card just so I can get the points. But I'll pay that credit card within 2 weeks since I bought it. So I don't pay any late fees or any of that. I just do my points. And I get a lot of points. But thank you for joining me. And I wish you luck on your journey. If you need any more advice of what you can do to save, just ask me. Put it in my comments and I will be happy to answer them. Thank you. Bye.